Hello, this is Jill from Paper Daisy Crafting. Thank you for joining me today. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in the UK, and today I bring you another project. I bring you try and bring you three projects at least on video each week. And today's project is my customer thank you gift for the October orders. So every one of my customers, and you can see I had to make quite a few this month, received one of these little pouches. In Highland Heather. Today's plan, consume coffee, and inside each of these is a packet of Nescafe mocha, mocha. I don't know how to say that actually. Mocha, that's it, that's how you say it. Just trying to think how my daughter would say it. Is one of these. Now, when I bought these, they come in this packaging here, and because they were lilac, I thought, oh, that's good. I can use Highland Heather and they'll coordinate. As you can see, the actual sachets that I'm sending out haven't got any lilac on them, so it doesn't coordinate with Highland Heather. But hey ho, we went with it anyway. Okay, so we're going to show you how to make those. Before I carry on, just want to have a quick word about my host code. I think some people don't know about this. If you decide to order from me through my online shop, the link is below, please use I call it my monthly shopping code, but on the site it goes in the box that says host code. If you pop that in the box, what it means is that all the orders that use that code accumulate together, and if we get over a certain amount, then I get some free product, which I then spend on buying things for my customers. So with your thank you package, which you will get anyway if you order, you will also get a product gift. And it varies from month to month what that might be. Might be a pack of embellishments, might be a reel of ribbon, might be sometimes a stamp set if we've had a really good month, sometimes an embossing folder, all sorts of things, sometimes a pack of note cards and envelopes, all sorts of things that I send out every month. But it's nice to get a little something in the post, so do use my code. For November it is SEHJX6GN. It's on my blog, it's always on my blog, so pop over there to have a look, and it will change on the 1st of every month. So if you're going into December, then look for the new code. That was my little spiel about my host code, shopping code. Right, okay, so we're back to making these. So we're going to do one today. I've got a piece of card here that measures 6 by 5 3/4. So 6 along that end, 5 3/4 along there. And then we are going to stamp before we do anything else with this. So I'm taking one of the stamps from this brilliant set. Love, love, love this set. Nothing's better than. Really gorgeous. A lot of more use to come out of this, I know. I'm going to use it a lot more. And I'm going to take my Versamark pad and I'm just going to randomly stamp all over. Now I need to know which way this is going to be up, so I need the 6-inch side going along the top and the 5 3/4 down, and then I'm just going to randomly stamp. If you haven't got Versamark but you've got Highland Heather, of course you could do it with your Highland Heather pad and it would be a slightly darker image. The Versamark is a really good all-round pad to have if you haven't already got one, because it, you can self-colour stamp. You can stamp in the same sort of colour and get a sort of watercolour effect on any cardstock. Works better on the darker colours, I have to be honest, than on the lighter ones, but it's a really good value product, and of course it's great for embossing as well, heat embossing. So might want to put that on your Christmas list if you haven't already got one. Maybe somebody could buy you a Versamark pad. Be one of the nicest presents you get if you're a crafter. Right, there we go. Right, I've just randomly stamped all over there, and now we're going to do our scoring, which I'm going to use my scoreboard today just because I've got my scoreboard out. And I do love it. I realise how much I love using it. I've been using my trimmer to score quite a lot, but actually having used my scoreboard just recently, I quite like this. Right, I'm going to score at 1.5 and 4 4.25. So 1.5 and 4.25. And I'm then going to burnish those 2 folds. It's quite an easy little pouch to make, this one. There are other things that could possibly fit in it. A little bar of chocolate or something like that. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use seal to seal this edge here, but I'm going to use Tombow to do along here, and that's because when I was making these ones, the ones where I used wet glue, they stayed stuck. Where I was actually using up my old snail, they came apart and I had to staple. So I think wet glue, because there's going to be a bit of pressure on that joint because you're going to have a pouch in there, it's better to use wet glue for that bit. So I'm going to, how is this going? Yes, along here. I'm going to use Seal Plus along here. I've just gradually started using Seal a bit more. I'm not saying I'm fully converted yet, but I am beginning to see the benefits of it. And I have to say, I've used it quite a bit recently and it has lasted. I was afraid it might run out really quickly. Right, so I'm using wet glue along there. So I'm going to fold this piece in here first. And then this piece over here. And then, because this won't quite be dry yet, I'm going to take 2 little clips. Sadly, we don't have either of these types of clips in our catalogue at the moment. I'm hoping they might bring some back in because they're very useful when you're doing these. So I can just clip that together, and as the glue dries, that will hold that together. Right, okay, before we do anything else though, I'm going to do the tag to go on here. So I have cut from the stitched nested labels this one. It measures, just so in case you want to use exactly the same one, it is the one that measures, I'll do it in inches as I did the other one in inches, 1 3/4 across by about 3 1/4 long. And so what we're going to do is we're going to stamp today's plan, consume coffee, and the cup. Okay, so I'm going to use Memento ink first of all. So this is what we're aiming to recreate. So we're going to use Memento ink to do today's plan, consume coffee. Like so. I'm going to do that fairly near the top because it's photopolymer. It's quite easy to get the placement accurate. Today's plan, consume, and then still I've got my Versamark out, so I'm going to do the cup. There, and then I can put the did I say Versamark? I meant Memento, and then I can bring out the Highland Heather to do the other 2 elements. So coffee is going to be printed at the bottom. Just remembered I meant to re-ink my Highland Heather pad before I came on camera because it seems to be getting a bit dry. I've had it for ages, so it's not done badly. It's one of my favourite colours. I use it an awful lot. As you can see, I'm trying to use the outside of the pad because I think the inner part of the pad is really dry. Right, this one doesn't matter too much with placement because it's not an exact fit. So if it doesn't quite fit in it, it doesn't really matter because it's meant to be. It's sort of that retro look. Right, that's our tag printed. Right, before we do anything else, I'm going to put the holes in the ribbon and for the ribbon in here. And what I used to do this was this punch, which I can't remember what it's called. I could find out in the catalogue quickly. It came as a pair of punches with the last catalogue, but then they changed it. Right, it's called Label Me Fancy, and it's got a nice fancy label, but it's also got a slit and a little hole, and that little hole is what I'm using to put my ribbon holes in. So I'm just going to mark, which I can do it with a pen, where I want it to go. So I'm going to go there first of all. So I'm going to try and line that black dot up with the hole. There we go, I can find it, there it is, and just punch through there. And then I'm going to turn over, do it about the same depth down and the same distance from the edge, and punch out there. This is really useful little punch to do this. Don't think I've used the slit and I've used the hole, but I don't think I've ever actually used the label. Just a bit of remiss of me, isn't it? But I have got quite a few other label punched. Right, that's that done. And then I've taken the clips off, and that does seem to be quite well stuck, so I'm quite pleased with that. So I'll put this on first, and then we'll pop the sachet in there. So find some tweezers. Here we go. So I used full ones to do this just because I want to make sure it stays stuck. Is that enough? I think that's probably enough. Right. They've got quite powerful glue on these dimensionals. So yeah, this little pouch could be, so if you could find some long thin biscuits, there's one with cookies, the set also has cookies, chocolate, you can use the chocolate stamps to do your stamping. So very, very versatile, this set. There we go. Right, okay, so if I get back, now what I had to do with the others was just fold up a little bit. I found it poked out at the top sometimes, otherwise it should fit. I did measure it, but I just found it worked better if I folded it over and popped it in. There it is. You can see there's now a bit of pressure on that seam, is why it wasn't holding. Right, okay, what have I done with my ribbon? Here it is. So this is our Whisper White, I think it's crinkled seam binding ribbon, yes. See it on the other side. Right, okay, and you need about 12 inches just to make sure you've got enough to tie your bow, and you might need to trim off a little bit at the end. There they are. Couldn't find my ribbon scissors. There we go. And I'm just going to use my embossing tool to just poke that through there, be able to pull that out like so, and then again through these two holes and pull that through. It's quite pliable, this ribbon, it's very thin and easy to manage. And then just, so I'm recording this on Sunday. I probably won't go out until later next week. Hopefully all of these will have been received, and I hope well received by my customers from October. Hope they'll like their little gift. There we go. There we are. There. Okay, so it's another one to add to my stash. I think I've got nearly enough now. I think I've done nearly enough now to send all these out. I've really enjoyed making them. I really love this task every month though, making these gifts for my customers, and it does push me to do something 3D, some sort of packaging, which is really good for me because otherwise I just make cards. So anyway, that's it from me today. Like I say, pop down below and have a look in my shop if you like any of the products I've used today. Don't forget to use the host code. Or pop over to my blog and you can see what I've been up to there as well. But meanwhile, I hope you have a lovely day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will be back very soon.